So I posted on social media that I don't think Daniel Bryan should headline WrestleMania 31. My name is Tubby Emu, and we're going to talk about that very thing in this video. And the reason I want to talk about that is because I've gotten a lot of, I don't want to say hate for it, but I've been getting people saying, who else would you rather have? Roman Reigns? And my honest answer is, yeah, I would rather have Roman Reigns. And I know what you're saying right there. Tubby, I lost all respect for you. They're the guy they're pushing down our throats. They're just trying to make him look strong. I don't care if it's Roman. It could be Roman. It could be literally anybody else. The thing that I'm more concerned about is you have Daniel Bryan, who went in and was hot last year. He went out there, the crowd got behind him, WWE changed their plans, and they eventually let him, even though it wasn't going to be in the plans, when Batista came back, headline WrestleMania and go on to win the championship. Now, after he won that championship, he had a feud with Kane, a feud that I thought was absolutely stupid and didn't enjoy. He went and got injured. Now, when he got injured, the big thing about that was he has been out of action for so long, and there's been so many questions about whether or not he would still go, and he's been out this long, just like Roman Reigns. So at the same time, should Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan headline? Probably not. But when it comes to your WrestleMania show, you've got to give it to the biggest guy. Now, whether that is Roman, whether that's Daniel, I don't know. I still think Brock Lesnar is a big attraction, and I know what you're saying, Tubby. Brock Lesnar wrestles, he's had one title defense in 5 months. This is bullshit. He's never around. How can you want this guy to be champion? The simple fact that he beat The Undertaker last year, you saw the reactions on everybody's face when this man beat Taker. You need a guy in that spot for WrestleMania that's big. And I think WrestleMania should be a place that puts over these guys the future of the WWE. Now, last year it was Daniel Bryan. This year it should be somebody new. I love Daniel Bryan. I want him to be the company. I want him to be the face of the company. I want Daniel Bryan, Hideo Itami, Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, all those guys, Kevin Owens. I want those guys to be the main eventers. We are never going to get to that spot, though, if we keep letting guys that are already in the main event keep that main event spot. You know, the thing that people keep forgetting about Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar came back, he won the championship, and look what has happened. Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Dolph Ziggler, all these guys have gotten a big push and have gotten more screen time, more recognition, more availability to be, broadcast to all of us fans and viewers. And that's something we wouldn't have gotten if we keep having the same old superstars. You know, a lot of people get mad when they bring back the same old people or Cena wins, same old, or any of this stuff. But then they always want the same thing. They always want Punk as champion or Daniel Bryan as champion or something like that. You got to give a guy a chance to grow. And I know what you're saying, Tubby. Well, Roman Reigns isn't that guy. You're right. He isn't. He has been forced upon us. If you listen to the CM Punk podcast, when he said, you're going to go out there and why don't I just let Roman win? Well, no, you're going to win. You're going to go over, but you got to make him look strong. By making him look strong, which I'm perfectly fine with, because, Roman Reigns, and I know a lot of people keep bringing up the fact that, have you ever watched his matches, Tubby? He's the most boring wrestler. He's boring. He's got no... When has he wrestled a lengthy singles match? Besides Randy Orton. What has Roman Reigns done to show you if he has it or he doesn't have it? Plain and simple. Have you seen him go out there and deliver a 20-minute main event? No. I don't know if he's capable of one, so me making this argument could be completely irrelevant, because for all I know, he could be very exciting to watch. But at the same time, by saying that, another guy needs a chance to step up. Now, I know why we don't like Roman Reigns. Because he is being forced down our throats. Absolutely 100%, I agree with that. But for the WWE to build on its future, they have to keep bringing in new talent and keep building people. And if Dean and Seth has already got a path in. Seth does not need to be in the main event. He's got a Money in the Bank. Perfectly fine. Don't need him to. Bray Wyatt possibly against The Undertaker. Bray Wyatt against somebody else. Perfectly fine. 100% for it. Sting versus Triple H. The goofy masks man that he keeps talking about. We're getting set up for a pretty good WrestleMania card, and I've asked myself, yes, I would love to see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar was absolutely amazing, and I enjoyed that match. It's not that I don't want to see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. It's that I want the WWE to succeed. And for the WWE to succeed, they have to keep building new stars, whether they're thrown down our throats or not. As much as the IWC really hates Roman Reigns, there are a lot of fans that do actually enjoy him and like watching him wrestle. They like him, his personality, and I think he will develop a big personality. He will go out there and eventually make us care, make us want to be a Roman Reigns fan. I think the injury hampered him. I think a lot of things that were going on surrounding the Shield and the whole Randy Orton storyline kind of led us to a place where we really didn't care about him. And it's the amazing thing in this world that when you get something pushed down your throat for so long, eventually you just don't care about it. And I worry about that for Roman Reigns. I do. But we're never going to know if we don't give somebody a chance. You know, this year, if I had to pick one superstar, whose year it was, because that's the one thing I think WrestleMania 31 should be, or WrestleMania in general should be. Last year was the year of Daniel Bryan. He got screwed at SummerSlam. He went through hell against the Authority, finally overcame them, and won the title at Money in the Bank. A storyline that wasn't built just from Royal Rumble. I mean, it was, yes. I mean, the plans were changed because Batista wasn't getting over. I get that. But because of what happened during the year, it built for this awesome WrestleMania moment when Daniel Bryan finally won it and we all went apeshit crazy. How are we going to go apeshit crazy for these guys if we don't give them that chance? But at the same time, you need a bankable superstar. You need somebody in there that is going to draw money, that is going to make people want to watch. And whether you want to admit it or not, I think Brock Lesnar definitely is a big-name guy, just like John Cena. And going forward in the future, they're going to need to keep pushing these guys. And by having guys like Brock Lesnar as champion, the really big, important, you know, the guy that's holding the company title, he isn't around that much because he is the top guy. I'll be honest with you. I loved CM Punk and I loved his reign, but towards the end, into the the Hell in a Cell pay-per-views or TLCs and things like that at the end of his reign, you knew he wasn't going to lose. And it just was not entertaining to watch because he was there week in and week out. We always complain about Raw being 3 hours, but yet we want a champion that's there every single week. And we complain when Brock Lesnar's not there. But when Brock Lesnar's not there, it's allowed us a chance to shine with Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. I mean, look at their matches. I mean, granted, the ambulance match was a little lackluster compared to what we wanted, but we're setting them up for future stars. Dean Ambrose has got a character that doesn't necessarily need to win. Daniel Bryan is already a big name, and the fans already love him because you saw the reaction the fans gave him. Daniel Bryan's over. He doesn't need a big main event to be the next guy because he already has that potential if he stays injury-free. A guy like John Cena's bankable. He's money. He doesn't need to win a Royal Rumble. You look at the names of superstars that are around this year, and the big question comes up, who else would take that spot? If it wasn't Roman Reigns, do you just give it to Daniel Bryan? He came back. Do you want him to main event twice in a row? If it was Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan straight up, yeah, I would want to see that. I think that would be a great main event. I think those two could go out there and push the envelope. But as much as I love Daniel Bryan, there's a lot of other superstars I love just as much or even more, and some guys that are still in their prime. And Daniel Bryan's still prime. Daniel Bryan's still awesome. and I cannot wait to see him back in the ring. With all the injuries going around, you need to have a diverse group of people. Now, if Roman hadn't gotten injured, I think the last 6 months would have been different, and we may be talking about a different story here. If we had saw what Roman Reigns had did leading up to WrestleMania, we may have cared. We may have wanted him in that main event. But because he was injured, a lot of people think he doesn't deserve the main event. And I would agree. The main event of WrestleMania should be a guy that's there, that's a big deal to the company. Wait, what about The Undertaker? He only wrestles once a year, and that's the most important match on the card usually, the one people care about the most, and he didn't have to be there every single week because he was already that big name. But that big name is coming down to his last couple years, possibly his last year. Where do we go from there? The key to WrestleMania main events, especially like in the case of CM Punk, is not letting John Cena headline 5 years in a row. Is to not let other guys overshadow it. It's to let other people be a part of it. So when I say I don't want Daniel Bryan to main event WrestleMania, it's not because I don't like Daniel Bryan. It's not because I don't want him to go out there and prove why he's one of my favorite wrestlers. I don't not want him to main event because I think Daniel Bryan doesn't deserve it. I don't want Daniel Bryan to not main event because he's a B-plus player or the authority doesn't think he can do it. I don't want Daniel Bryan to main event WrestleMania because for the WWE to succeed, I think they need to bring in new talent. They need to bring up new superstars. And this year with Brock Lesnar as champion, they've done just that. Now, some of the direction for some of these characters, especially with what happened on Monday Night Raw, we're going really WWE. Really? The way things are lining up now, it almost looks like an Authority versus the WWE Superstar storyline going into WrestleMania. It's looking like Roman versus Brock. It's looking like Triple H versus Sting. Maybe J&J Security versus somebody. Corporate Kane. Who knows where they go from here? But the one thing I do know is that injuries cost Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan a main event shot, in my opinion. And even if they hadn't, we would be sitting here wondering what if. Unfortunately, we can't live in a world of what ifs. Or if we do, we're just going to drive ourselves crazy and get mad all the time. I like Daniel Bryan. He deserves one of the main event spots at WrestleMania. Hell, maybe he deserves the main event. The one thing I do think Daniel Bryan deserves is one hell of a Royal Rumble showing. I think Daniel Bryan deserves to go out there maybe in a Shawn Michaels-esque fashion, number 1 or 2, and stay in there the whole time. And maybe to get eliminated by somebody and maybe to create a story with them. Show why he is the guy that we fell in love with last year. Or for some of us who have fell in love with him a long time ago. So when I post Daniel Bryan shouldn't get the main event, no, I'd like him to. And I want him to. And I expect him to. I think Daniel Bryan even wants it. Who doesn't want a WrestleMania main event paycheck? Hell, who doesn't want a main event WrestleMania in general? If you're not striving for the best, what are you in the company for? But at what point are we supposed to go, who else is there? If you don't want Roman Reigns to main event WrestleMania, who should main event WrestleMania? Let me know. Down in the comment section below, who deserves it, in your opinion? Who is the guy that should headline? Who's the guy that should potentially face Brock Lesnar for the championship? Who is the guy that will carry this company post-WrestleMania season if Brock Lesnar leaves the WWE? Because so far this year, I don't think that many people have earned it. I don't think Roman's earned it. I don't think Daniel's earned it, but somebody's got to have it. We don't want it to be Cena. We don't want it to be Brock. We only have 3 months until WrestleMania. Who is that guy? So before you just get mad that I said Daniel Bryan shouldn't main event, think about the options. Sure, Daniel Bryan right now is looking like the only option, but we're still 3 months away. Just a little food for thought.